Okay, we're live. So we're here at Trevista, otherwise known as Trey. This is Erika.
Hi.
She's one of the radicals. You've probably seen her post before. That's Lisa. She's our impact manager at Trey.
Hi.
She might have interviewed some of you. So, but Erika's going to give us a tour for Wisdom Wednesday, and then we'll chat.
Oh my goodness. So this is our team room. So we have our PITW up there. We thought it was important to include our school mascot, the falcon.
Oh, yeah. There it is.
And then we have our GSD board. We thought we'd stick to the theme of nature and animals. And we put our faces on animals.
Oh, okay. Where are you?
I'm the cat.
Oh,
Actually,
you're all the way down at the
it's
end.
a bush baby. I didn't know what that was before this year of service.
So, GSD, get stuff done. Right?
Yeah,
This
so-
is your, like, to-dos for everybody.
Yeah, so we have a very visual graph of our tasks. This is Sharmila, our senior core. She's a potato. And this is our materials, of course, with working in an elementary school. You have to have materials, so many of them. Next, we have our calendar, which is just a great visual because a lot of us are out sometimes, or we have special events or visitors, so it's really cool to have that.
And springtime has a lot of testing, too.
Oh yeah. And then our month ahead, this is just kind of like another breakdown of our calendar, looking ahead at events, deadlines, assessments, and teammates out. It's really important.
What is your next, like, Trey event that's not, like, this is obviously city year.
Uh-huh.
What's your next school event?
So we're actually going to have a literacy night, and it's going to be superhero themed. So it's like calling all heroes, and we're hoping to do like poetry workshops, literacy type of like reading books to them. And so we're going to have to workshop through these workshops. It's going to be fun. I'm really excited, to be honest. I think the superhero theme is really going to get them. This is our site goals, and so it's pretty flexible with team decorations because a lot of the teams have the same things in their team room, but they all have taken a different approach to decorating and making their team room feel like home. We spend a lot of time here.
Yeah.
Trackers, something I did not know coming into city year. We use a lot of trackers, and this is good for data. It's really organized for everyone, and so there's definitely a tracker section of our team room.
Is this for dosage?
It depends.
Or what kind of things are you tracking?
So we got some community outreach. I keep it at my desk though because I'm the community outreach coordinator. And so that's just like all our donors, all our contribution forms, just keeping tallies of all our contributions. And then we got phone call logs because of course we call parents on a daily basis. And we have our attendance check-in checkouts and our behavior trackers, and then finally our event QTQs.
Okay, so it's a little more event or like coordinator roles and stuff too.
Yeah, so our event QTQs are actually super important because it's kind of like we have different point people for our events, and so the QTQ just kind of puts everyone on the same page. No matter who the point person is of the event, different people will take on different roles.
And that's actually, I had no clue what a QTQ was until I did city year, so I'll put this back, I promise. I was gonna like put this in here if someone, oh, this is not a QTQ. That's,
No.
I don't think we have
okay.
No, we don't have an actual
Well, this is
QTQ
also
in there.
important. Oh, there's one.
Oh, there's one.
Yay. That's a QTQ.
September Staff Appreciation Breakfast. September.
You can see it's just like who's doing what at what time and where everything is. Cool. Thank you.
Help you out. And then our event proposals, of course. So I think this last section is really miscellaneous event. Just
Stuff.
event stuff. This is our quote wall. We spend a lot of time here, as I mentioned, so a lot of things are said here. So we all have like a communal way of kind of expressing ourselves here. So for example, in December, I had like a cleansing, a religious cleansing with my family. And so they're, did Erika go get cleansed every time I was like absent or out sick? Or why can't we ever have undocumented fun?
So you have to document everything.
Because we document a lot. And no is a complete sentence. or my personal favorite, vigorously in-kinding, because we're always doing things vigorously, but in-kinding is definitely a vigorous activity. And then we also capture student quotes. Just gonna jaywalk my way out of here. That's just one of our city year rules. We can't jaywalk.
Yeah. That's important.
Yeah.
Yeah, in uniform.
In uniform. And so
we want to be safe role models for our students.
Yeah. So
just for people watching, we just had dismissal, right?
Yeah.
And I was shocked because I went to go park, and normally when I'm here, it's like empty. And I was like, oh my God.
Where is everyone?
There's so many people and cars everywhere. So.
And then we have our little kitchen area, so it's a little messy. We do work a lot, but we always try to keep like hopeful messages everywhere. Yeah, we do. We have a cleaning schedule. I mean, we're a team, and that just means that we're going to spend a lot of time together, so these sort of things are logistical things we do figure out. But we remember, stay hopeful, be humble, and remember your why. It's so significant, like through your year of service. So many things happen that you might at some point forget, why am I truly doing this? So it's important to always remember. We have it in our fridge. We open it every day. It's here. It's a good reminder. Food. We are humans. 10 of us.
You guys have a coffee maker too. That's lucky.
Oh yeah, and a water heater thing.
Ooh.
So we're set up. This is our snack section. And then almost done. These are our city year values. And so we kept the theme of nature. We did national park signs type of theme there. And this is just another one of those things that city year wants these things in our team room, but we have complete autonomy of how and where we put these things in our room. And then this, interestingly enough, PITW number 177, laugh at least once a day every day. And then this one, send tiny ripples of hope, PITW 103. So our senior core came up with these plush animals that were left here in our team room, and she wrote warning on this one, occurrence on this one, and then good job on this one. And if you're doing a good job, she'll throw the good job lobster at you, and you're just and it's oh, you're doing a good job. Or warning, that's a warning. So
we did get what's a PITW, which we've gone over. I can't remember if Ariana came to our virtual orientation. So it's in our virtual orientation. It's putting idealism to work. Mm-hmm. My short explanation is that they're little snippets of advice that make your service easier day to day. But do you have anything to add to that?
I would second that, and I would just say that PITWs come up in the most random of moments. So it's just kind of a thing you say when it's applicable or relevant. So sometimes a teammate would be like, oh my God, what a long day. And then you're like, PITW number something. This is hard, Be
strong.
Be strong. And so
I think that's 49.
49?
I think.
Yeah, so there's a lot of them. But I feel like they all come up at different times of the year. They're all very useful. And they are good reminders. This is hard. Be strong. Yes, you should laugh at least once every day, and that goes along with our PITW number 98.
Perfect.
All people, especially young people, need the same 11 things, and it's, meaning, structure, community, adventure, respect, power, challenge, love, opportunity, safety, and joy.
I think this one was in Skinner's room too, and when I served it was 8 things, and last year it was 10. Now we're at 11.
Oh my goodness.
We're just gonna keep on adding. But
so this here is kind of our continuing with our theme. It's our little note drop-off section.
Oh.
So we all have a pin here, and then you just drop things in that you want to give that team member. So I got some gold chocolate coins right now. I take out all my notes, but some people leave their notes in here, and it's just I don't know, cute things that your team members are leaving you, just encouragements throughout the day. I know I've written some, and I've been like, hey, you're great. Just wanted to drop by and let you know, and we put it there. So, and then diving into dosage. This is the one wall in our team room that kind of flew off the theme a little bit. So we were starting with nature and animals and the outdoors, and then one of our team members was like, we need a squid. And so we really personalized Clammy the squid. Obviously, we we do some very serious work, but we do spend a lot of time laughing here. So, and these are our dosage trackers. Basically, this is what you use when you're working with students to track the time that you're working with them and the skills that you're working with them on.
Right, and that feeds into your psych goals that we looked at, right?
Yeah. And so we have to keep this here because it's very, very in the center of the room, very accessible. This is probably the most accessible wall we use because on a weekly basis we're just always signing up for dosage. And then we have our hours here. So this is just like your...
Oh, yeah, your actual service hours.
Yeah, so you have like a required amount of hours and...
To get your educational work.
Yes, and we have the column here is like where you should be, or the row where you should be, and then each column shows each member's hours for that month. Good visual, really keeps you...
Yeah, reminds you where you need to be.
On track, yeah, definitely. And then this wall... we don't really use, to be honest.
Yeah, that's okay.
But it's our passion project wall. We're going to put some stuff on there once we get that rolling. But this is the Trevista team room.
And then you see everybody has a table, a desk, which is pretty cool because not every team room has that. And this is Erika's desk, which is where we're going to do her interview.
Yeah.
So.
And we like it because in our team meetings, like, we feel like we're in a really diplomatic situation. Everyone's looking at each other.
Strong circle.
Yes. Very strong circle.
Yeah, we always use circles for
our morning
I
meetups.
was just looking for almost anything, basically. Because you want to be able to see everyone's face.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So tell me more about, and you moved from California,
I
right?
did,
So Erika did relocate. What's it been like just coming to Denver, but also just coming to City Year? Either one, whatever stands out to you.
So, well, I graduated in June, and I got accepted on the last deadline. So it was very like, okay, I'm in. Okay, like, orientation is coming, and I need to clean my apartment and move out. And so I planned a road trip to get here, which was really fun. We saw some national parks on the way here. And then transitioning to Denver, honestly, was not very difficult for me personally. I think the biggest struggle in the move was just not being here and trying to figure out housing while not being in the state.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I was able to secure a place and have a lease and everything, but I didn't look at the place prior. So I just a thing of comfort. I wish I would have seen my house prior. Not that I'm unhappy with it, but you know. And then the actual getting here and doing City Year, you know, you hit the ground running.
You're good.
We came into orientation, and, you know, after that we had like about a week before we actually started our training and service here at school. And so during that week I took care of my food stamps right away because luckily...
That's super important.
Yes. Luckily, gratefully, AmeriCorps provides us with food stamps, which really helps out with the stipend. And I took care of that right away in that week of
Between registration and
service. Okay. Yeah, and so then once we started service, it was just go, 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 and get ready for the kids. Our school actually started school a little bit later than the rest of the teams, so we kind of had a little bit more time to prepare for the actual kids, which is a good thing and a bad thing, because I felt like I was really, like, anticipating, like, when am I going to get in there, and when am I going to, like, do the work with the kids, because that's one of the biggest reasons why I served. And so now that I look back on it, I think it was a really good thing that we had all that training, because once we jumped in, it was like, oh, they're here, okay, like, we're doing this now.
Yeah.
And once you get into your service year, you're going. I mean, I'm sure you remember what it was like going to school. For me personally, time flew.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
it flies.
And that kind of relates, like, what makes Trey special and unique. I mean, you started a little later, but you guys are a little bit different than some of our schools, so what else makes you stand out?
Well, I haven't been to the other schools, but I feel like we have a very inclusive community here. Every morning, like, I remember when I was in school, we would do the Pledge of Allegiance in the morning. here at school, we actually have something different. It's like a morning greeting. And we say, this is like a repeat after me pledge. And we say, I, Miss Erika, a Trevista Falcon, pledge to work hard and participate, show respect to myself and others, and hold myself accountable for my actions. I have a great heart, a growing mind, and a school community that loves me. Have a great day. And so we're all out there at morning greeting, and all our classes are together, and our assistant principal goes out there, and she's like, this is a repeat after me pledge. And, then the whole school is saying this together. And I think it's super powerful because it lets the students come into school knowing, like, there is a school community that loves me. I am here, I have a purpose, and there are people here that care about me. And along with that inclusivity, our principal took the time to put inclusive stickers in the school. So every teacher got 4 stickers and was required to put them somewhere visibly in their classroom. And so you can see them everywhere. And there's like migration is beautiful with the monarch butterfly. There's, all are welcome here to welcome refugees. And I think that's pretty unique to my school because it takes a lot of guts for a principal to do that, and I love it. And I mean, it's an elementary school, so some of these kids don't even understand some of these critical inclusive issues that are being brought up, but it makes it to where it's like a great environment for them to learn about this.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that so much. I don't know if other schools have that, but I know I'm grateful to have it here.
I mean, every school culture is different, so I think every school has pieces of that, but it's going to look different everywhere. So especially like you said, elementary versus like a high school, being able to talk through those issues or just put them somewhere where it's visible.
Yeah.
So just a quick aside to go back to the first question, we did get another question about when you would move, and so I do have that on the website if you look at the housing section, and it should be on the main housing page as well as the specific housing resources, and I think the FAQ sheet too. But when did you move here? Like, how much time would you allow before registration?
So I think that really depends on you independently in your housing, because I personally, I established my lease and I had about 5 days before registration.
Okay.
And so then registration was on a Monday, and I left California on a Thursday, and I spent Friday, Saturday, Sunday road tripping. I went through Zion National Park and the Arches and the Grand Canyon, and then finally got to Denver and was like, okay, I need to sleep because I have registration. And so I cut it kind of close, but that was just personally because of my lease. I know some other people came to Denver and had either an Airbnb situation or a subleasing situation that let them kind of be here and explore and establish housing that way. So there's different ways. I think it just depends on your situation.
Cool, thanks. And then next part, so you adjusted to Denver pretty well and city year, but what's sort of a challenge you've had this year that you've worked on, and how did you approach solving it? I was thinking, I guess, in the school space, but it could be outside of that too.
Okay. I think for me personally, I've always been very go with the flow. And this job has definitely taught me that you really need to be intentional.
That's true.
When you come here and you have your first circle and, the team is giving announcements, we're preparing for the day. I think after that, it's okay, I have this brief time before it's, the kids are going to get there. What am I going to do? I'm going to get, my copies done. I'm going to get all my lessons ready. I'm going to be ready for the day. And I feel like I wasn't that type of person. I would roll out of bed and brush my hair, brush my teeth, and bike to class in California. And just, I would be present in class, but the preparation side of it, I felt like I was lacking in. And now I need that preparation. I need to have that time early in the morning or even before events and things like that. I think maybe that's in part the trackers. The trackers really help. I ended up really liking the trackers, and I didn't think I was. I thought I was really gonna struggle with that, and now it turns out I really like them. And another personal struggle for me was I am not a morning person. And so I have had to like backwards plan my time, especially coming from California, and like, you know, it snows here. So in the morning I have to like heat up my car, and I have to scrape my car windows, and you know, even those things, like I was like, what?
When it snows, that's always what gets me.
Yeah, and personally I feel like I said, I was always the type to roll out of bed and, you know, take care of business, just go with the flow kind of thing. And now I'm like, okay, no, it's gonna snow tonight, I have to wake up like 15 minutes earlier. And just being super intentional about your time, because you do have more limited time, and you really want to make the best out of your time with the kids. You want it to be productive and effective.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Intentional is, exactly what we're doing, so that's true.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, you mentioned a couple, like, awesome things. I know your team's pretty close, too, right? But, like, what's one of your favorite just experiences throughout the year, either here or at the office with your team, just, like, throughout City Year in general? What stands out?
I think what stands out for me is one of the skills I like about myself the most is my relationship building. So I've been able to build like really cool relationships with the kids, which in turn has made a lot of them want to join our after school space.
Oh, good.
Which is a good thing. But, you know, when it's me and there's 7 of my kids in the homework space, you know, obviously my team has to jump in and help us out when some of their kids aren't coming or they don't have as many as I do. And so something I've come to see is that not only have I built relationships with my kids, but so has my team. And so, like, for example, right now, they're in the after-school homework space, I'm here, and I know I can trust my team to take care of my kids. And I know they've worked with them enough to where they're going to be good. I remember in the beginning, it's like they were very like, we only want to work with our City Year.
Oh, the students, you mean?
Yes, the students were very like, oh, you know, Miss Erika, that's who I'm here to see, that's who I'm here to work with, I don't need your help. And I'd be like, there's not enough of me to go around. And so just seeing that collaboration from my team, I feel like it's really helped the kids grow, because I have these 3 friends, these 3 students, they're boys, and they are the closest of friends. They are with me all day in my classroom, and then they come to homework help as well. And I have one that is kind of a bad influence on the other 2. And I think one of my favorite moments, personally, is when the team and I got to see how these group of kids came from, you know, working with me, to realizing one of our friends is a bad influence and we want to do our work, and just kind of holding themselves accountable. I was like, oh my goodness, because it's one thing to...
Do they help hold him accountable?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They hold themselves accountable and they hold him accountable, which is, I don't know, I think it's beautiful to see, because I've been working with them all year, and now they're like, hey, you need to get to work. Or, hey, I'm going to move over here because you're distracting me. And it's just like seeing them want to do their work and want to be better. It just shows that the work you're doing is influencing them and is making them want to try harder and be better. And I don't know, that's one of my biggest, like, most rewarding takeaways, because now my 3 boys are just trying to go higher and higher and get better and better. And when one of them started off being like really close to me, now all three are kind of like on the same page, and I think it's great.
Yeah. Well, and the part about your teammates, that's still part of filling your boots too, and the purpose of the uniform that I think people forget is that you and your teammates won't be here next year, but they'll still recognize City Year and know they can trust whoever is in your classroom. So, and we didn't go over this at the beginning, so now that we're at the end, can you remind people what grade you're in?
So I work with 4th grade.
4th grade, okay.
So I'm in an elementary school. We work with 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade here. I'm in a 4th grade classroom. I have 24 wonderful kids, and it's been great. I just, at this point of the year, they're about to go into testing, and so we've worked with them this whole time, and it's really nice to see the changes, the positive changes. Yeah.
Yeah, the end of the year, it's very different from the beginning. Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to add that you think is important for people to remember or prepare for? Just any advice at all? I know that's on the spot.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot, but
Yeah, but I definitely recommend, along with like intentionality, don't forget about yourself, because I personally, yes, I'm very much about giving it my all the time, and sometimes you can't give your all because you have your own life, you have your own issues to work through as well. And one of the biggest lessons of this year is definitely like you can't pour from an empty cup, and sometimes good intentions are not enough. So even though like you really want to help out and you like are dying on the way to help your kids out, that's really not going to help them out in the long run. If you actually want to make these positive changes and make this impact, like you can't pour from an empty cup. You got to take care of yourself first to make sure that you can help other people first.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful. I think we should end on that. That's perfect. Thank you, Erika.
Of course.
And if anybody has questions, you can always comment here, and Erika's in the group, and she can answer any of them and get in touch in other ways. So.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.